Hey, it's your girl, your favorite paralegal, aka Cassandra Lynn, and welcome to Legal Doc Talk. Sorry for my lateness. I'm working and I'm like, let me go ahead and get this together. Give me 1 second. Let me answer these questions. Okay. This is going to be a very brief live. It's going to be straight to the point. And I guess after this, I'm not going to say too much on it because I don't know how to further simplify the meaning, the process, and everything so that people actually understand what is going on. The biggest question is the Jane Doe case, why it was dismissed. Um, and everybody has their own um I guess, what would you call it? Conclusion or inference as to why the Jane Doe case was removed, was dismissed. Some people are going to as far as saying, there might be some type of, hey, gold digger, long time. Either I'm not doing enough lives to even realize this. Hold on, my attorney's giving me a call. Give me 1 second, y'all. Hey y'all, I am sorry. My attorney called me in the middle of this, so I'm still here. Just give me a second. He's asking me a question about some cases, so let me get that taken care of, and I will be back. Give me 1 second. Well, give me about 5 minutes. Hopefully, I can get him off the phone. Who y'all? Oh, okay. One, I love what I do. Being a paralegal is when you have an awesome attorney, that's what's up. That is what's up. All right. My bad, y'all. Thank y'all for holding on. Hold on, let me see. Oh my gosh. I got my hair in a puff, and so my headphones don't want to stay on. Let me send this email right here. Please use the PO box. in the part. Okay. All right. I got a lot of stuff to do today, so this definitely ain't gonna take long. Damn, I was on the phone for a minute. Yeah, thank y'all for y'all patience. Thank y'all for waiting. Let me pull up what screen is that. This one. All right. Let me go through the so I seen Gold Digger in here. Penny, what is up? What is up? What's up, CC? How you doing? How you doing? I was like, who is host? That's me. Donner, Diener, what is do? Uh okay, I'm gonna say just music. That's what we're gonna do. What's up with you? Yes, I know y'all. I was on the phone with my attorney. Jane Doe got to your channel. Y'all are funny. What's up, MEP? What it do? All right, so shout out to everybody in here. What up, Hibiscus? Yeah, so shout out to everybody that is that's on here and in bushes. It is greatly appreciated. All right, so y'all know with me, it is time for training. It is time for training. Let me get to this because let me take my hair is in this puff. Hold on one second. Oh, being natural is something else. Okay. So, this is what we need to discuss first because there are a lot. No, there is a lot of misinformation that is spreading around YouTube. And I'm getting to the point where I just want to do my YouTube stuff and just click off and not go back on YouTube until, I'm just looking at my analytics because the amount of misinformation that is going through these streets is ridiculous. Thank you so much, Hibiscus, for the super chat. Thank you so much. Um, and so I'm only a small channel holder. I'm like one of those, I have a Yorkie and he acts like a pit bull. So I'm trying to preach to the masses in hopes that the right information gets spread across the YouTube land. And eventually it will. But when I have, supporters like yourselves that are, come in and y'all listen to me, and I do see you guys be in other chats and leave comments and stuff and like, hey, go check out. And I do really appreciate y'all for that. My job in my channel is to educate y'all. This is not something that, oh, I wanted to do a YouTube channel to make money. No, because as y'all know, I don't even ask for any, cash apps or anything like that, right? I don't even care about the views. All I care is about whoever lands on my channel is getting the right information. With that being said, let's talk about this Jane Doe case because I have heard a lot of conspiracies and theories as to why the Jane Doe case was dismissed. Let me give you guys a little lesson right here. I'm taking off my paralegal hat and I'm putting on my educator hat. Nah, girl, let me tell you, the Yorkie is cool. He is really cool. It is my mini poodle who gets on my nerves. I believe she has ADHD, but that's another story. All right, so educator time. Jane Doe's case was voluntarily dismissed. There is a difference between voluntary dismissal and involuntary dismissal. What's up, Buttercup? And I was going to do a whole PowerPoint slide and I was like, look, I'm just trying to get straight to the point. That's what I'm trying to do. If y'all can see here on the screen, and I'm going to blow it up just in case somebody might want to, I don't know, take a screenshot or whatever because they can't access the internet. I don't know. But this is what needs to happen. This is what we need to understand. A voluntary dismissal is when a plaintiff chooses to drop a lawsuit by themselves, while an involuntary dismissal is when a court dismisses a case against the wishes of the plaintiff, usually due to procedural issues or failure to take necessary actions in the case. Key point to voluntary dismissal: it is initiated by the plaintiff. The plaintiff decides to discontinue the case. It can be done with or without prejudice, meaning that the plaintiff may be able to refile the case later or not. The key points to an involuntary dismissal: it is initiated by the court, usually due to the plaintiff's inaction or procedural errors. It can be considered a sanction against the plaintiff for not properly managing their case, and it may be issued with prejudice or without prejudice, depending on the circumstances. What's up, Rita? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, so keep that in mind. The difference between voluntary dismissal and involuntary dismissal. I'm going to take it a step further with the involuntary dismissal. Why does an involuntary dismissal happen? It can happen for a number of reasons. The plaintiff doesn't follow a court order. If the plaintiff has an attorney, same thing. But at the end of the day, it's the plaintiff and the defendant. All an attorney does is oversee and file and represent and bring up the cases, like other cases, court of law, statutes, all of that other stuff. That's what an attorney does. But the plaintiff is the main person in the case. When they come to us, they, depending on what it is, and I'm going to get into that a little bit in a second. The plaintiff is the primary person. The defendant is a primary person, because that's why you have some self-representative plaintiffs or defendants in a case. The plaintiff makes the decisions in their case. Now, if it was involuntarily dismissed, that means the plaintiff didn't follow the court order. The plaintiff didn't diligently pursue the case, meaning that they just filed a petition and that was it. They didn't do anything else. The plaintiff does not have enough evidence, or the plaintiff claims are not true. That is an involuntary dismissal. And I have to say it like that for the slow people in the back. Jane Doe's case was voluntarily dismissed. Now, I just told you guys what voluntary dismissal means. That means that she wanted her case to be dismissed. Her case wasn't because any procedural issues, such as Tony Busby not being admitted in the Southern District of New York. Please stop associating him gaining admission with cases being dismissed. Those two have no correlation. If Busby was the only attorney in this case, in which he wasn't, but if he was, one, he wouldn't even have been able to file the petition to start the case. Because when you go through PACER, they ask you a list of questions. The first thing they ask you is, what district are you filing this in, and if you have been admitted in that district. You have to file a notice of appearance in order for that case to be initiated. Here, notice of voluntary dismissal. That means that Jane Doe wanted her case to be dismissed, and she has agreed to not go back after any of the defendants that is listed in this case. What the hell I call it? The caption. I had to think about it. Okay. So she went to Diddy's attorneys. Not even Diddy's. She went to Diddy through his attorneys. She went through Bad Boys and all the other entities through their attorneys. She went to Sean Combs through his attorneys. Y'all have to understand the language, because it clearly says pursuant this rule of the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure, plaintiff, by and through her undersigned counsel, hereby gives notice that the above action, by and through her counsel. So Jane Doe did not prepare this voluntary dismissal and file it herself. She went through her attorneys to voluntarily dismiss this case, but it's because she wanted to. If it was any type of technicality, it would have been involuntarily dismissed. Going back, what constitutes an involuntary dismissal? If the plaintiff don't follow the order of the court, if they don't pursue their case, if they don't have enough evidence, and if the claims are not true. I'm sitting here and I am showing you this. Okay? So the case was not involuntarily, it was voluntarily dismissed because she wanted the case to be dismissed. Now, other people are asking, well, because everybody has it in their head that it was dismissed because Busby didn't do what he was supposed to do. And that is not the case. Because if Busby wasn't even on this case, the lead lawyer is Miss Antagoni Curious. And shout out to, I believe is artist who told me about her. Was it, or no, I think it was Black Queen. It was somebody that told me she is a female. She is the lead attorney, or was the lead attorney on this case. So as you can see, her signature is first. So anybody who's filing, we tend to put that attorney's name first on the pleading so the judge will know who submitted it. So this voluntary dismissal was submitted by Miss Antagoni Curris, the Busby Law Firm, as well as the Ava Law Group. So let's say that Busby wasn't even on here, right? This case still would have gone or been pursued by the lead attorney on this case. I hope. If y'all don't understand, definitely chime in to the chat and I will definitely explain it. But I'm assuming that everybody is understanding now what the difference between a voluntary dismissal and an involuntary dismissal is. If it was involuntary, then it means that either there was some type of technicality, somebody's not following the court order, somebody is not, going forth with the case, or there's not enough evidence, or the claims are not true. So everybody who was sitting up here saying Jane Doe's case was dismissed because she was lying, then it would be an involuntary dismissal. we have to stop it. Yeah, exactly. But let me tell y'all about this, because a lot of people, I need to get I should call his ass back. But we working today. Listen to this. Yes, she does have the device, but I'm going to give y'all, and if y'all don't know, now you're going to know. When we take on a personal injury case, we do not get any money up front. We work on a contingency basis, meaning that our goal is to reach a settlement, and we will take our attorney fees and case expenses out of that settlement. And the remainder will go to, if there was any medical providers, or if you had any lost wage claim, and then the remainder will go to you. So if the plaintiff comes and say, hey, I don't want to do my case anymore, the only thing that we could say is okay, and we could draft the paperwork. That's it. That is all. And I'm not telling y'all this because I want y'all to listen to me. I'm telling y'all this because from experience. There have been plenty of people who have filed suit that later comes back and say, okay, I don't want to file this lawsuit anymore. But y'all have to understand, when you're doing plaintiff's work, it's different. It's not, this is not no defense. See, Alex Spiro and Quinn Emanuel, they got paid. They're being paid up front. You know why? Because they're being billed. Everything that they do, from emails to calls to notice of appearances to going back and forth with the courts, to all of that, they are being billed. That's the defense side. On the plaintiff side, we lose money. We lose money if we don't go to if we don't carry on with the remainder of the case. If there's no settlement, nobody gets paid. And now we have paid to get the petition filed. We have paid to get the petition served upon the defendants. We have paid to get records. We have paid for experts. We have paid for depositions. We have paid for mediation. And if a client comes to us, a plaintiff comes to us and say, hey, I don't want to do this case anymore, we have to eat up all of that cost. It is not beneficial for an attorney to tell a plaintiff to drop their case, because now we have tens of thousands of dollars that we have just already spent on a case, and we don't get no benefits of it. Okay? So I hope that that's beneficial. That's why I said it was voluntary dismiss. If there was anything outside of that, it would have been an involuntary dismissal. If Busby's not getting admitted in the Southern District, New York was an issue, that would be considered a procedural issue, and that falls under involuntary dismissal. The court is saying, because you didn't admit yourself to the Southern District of New York, we're going to dismiss your case. If the court said your claims are not true, your plaintiff's claims are not true, we're going to involuntary dismiss this case. If the court determines that there was not enough evidence, we're going to involuntarily dismiss your case. But that was not the case, people. That was not the case. The case was, she wanted her case dismissed, point blank, period. And all Miss Antigone, Miss Antigone, this lady right here, shout out to her in New York. This lady here drafted this notice. She spoke with Busby, and she spoke with the Ava Law Group over here, and they all came to an agreement that, okay, add my signature. Well, actually, he didn't. No, it just says the Ava Group. You see how there's no signatures on here from Busby or Ava? That's because Miss Antigone Curtis is the lead attorney, or was the lead attorney, on Jane Doe's case. So Jane Doe went to her attorneys. That's why it says by and through her assigned counsel, drafted the paperwork, and they got it filed. I don't know how else to break that down. I really don't know how else to break that down. We go back here, and I'll get to the comments in just a second. Wait, hold up. What's another do 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 do. I got that Conjuring song stuck in my head. Okay, I don't even feel like going through all this. Parties. The lead, and if y'all did not watch my last live, go back and watch it. Like I said, the Diddy cases, the SA cases are not going anywhere. They're not in jeopardy. There is such thing as called a lead attorney. Just like in his criminal case, that Mark Agnafilio is the attorney, the lead attorney, and Mark and Anthony Rico withdrawn from it. Diddy has 5 other attorneys on the case. He has nothing to worry about. Same issue here. If Busby got kicked off the case or couldn't be on the case, there are other attorneys. Busby is not the only personal injury attorney in the United States. Look, these are all the individuals who were Jane Doe's attorneys. Antigone Curris and the people, Trump's lawyers. So in the event Busby couldn't have gained emission or it was denied, that this case wouldn't have stopped. It would have kept going because there are other attorneys on the case. Hey, Kanan Henderson, thanks for breaking this down. So many bloggers are on YouTube speculating and really trying to tarnish. Yeah, I guess gossip these days is better than the truth. I've always said that. Yeah, somebody could be like, oh my God, the sky is blue, the sky is blue. And then everybody will go out and go buy tissue and all the water and all the food and all this other stuff. And I'm just sitting up here, the sky been blue. That's what they're doing. They're trying to stir all of this when it is not that serious. I know that the sky is blue. So why y'all out here acting crazy? This is common sense. You can look up at the sky and you can see that it's blue. Why y'all going out here buying up all the tissue and all the water? Oh, this is crazy. Yeah, and that's all I do. In my work, it's facts only. When I teach, it's facts only. I can't go outside of that. I teach my kids. My kids sit here and they listen to me do these YouTube videos or teach my classes and they learn so much. I don't even be thinking that they pay attention, but they do. They could tell you hell, my 12 and my 16, because my 18-year-old is now in college, but they could come to you and they could break down each case. Like I literally, we sit here and we talk about the cases and I talk about the processes. So this is not something I do for YouTube for click and views. It's something that I do every single day. Why are some YouTubers who read the information to us don't know if it's voluntary or involuntary? Is it in the paperwork? Yeah. Yeah. I showed y'all. I literally just showed y'all. Hold up. It clearly says that. And that's why I was like, I don't let me I'm gonna make this clear. I don't knock anybody's hustle. I don't. But we live in a day and age where a lot of people are getting their information from the internet, from YouTube, from TikTok, from any social media platform. So just like you don't want your kids going to school learning the wrong shit, this is how I treat YouTube is a classroom to me. That's what it is. It is a classroom to me. I love doing what I do. I love teaching. I love working with attorneys. I love being a paralegal. I love it. So why not get on YouTube and give people real factual information showing you it's not me, even though sometimes that I was gonna get on camera, but my natural hair ain't doing right now. But if I turn my camera on, I mean business. So just know I mean business. But just because I don't have my camera on does not mean what I am saying is not factual. That is why I pull up these documents. I read these documents with you, whether y'all think it's boring or not. It's enough people tuning in that actually care and want to listen to it. Hell, it's like an audiobook. But yes, the paperwork clearly says notice of voluntary dismissal. But what people don't do is they don't look at up the legal genre to understand what's the difference between something being voluntarily dismissed and what is involuntarily dismissed. Yes, she's amazing. I wish that I would have found her earlier so that I wouldn't have to be so confused. Oh my gosh. Hey, the what matters is that you're here. That's all. That is all. So if she was telling the truth, then why Busby let should dismiss the case. Okay, Earl. If we listen to what I am saying, plaintiff attorneys lose money. We're not going, if a plaintiff wishes not to continue with their case, we cannot sit there and persuade them to do so because you will find yourself in trouble. You cannot go to anybody and say, hey, I think it's in your best interest to pursue. It is up to the plaintiff what they want to do with their case. If they wish not to pursue, that is period. The only thing, and at the end of the day, y'all have to stop saying why Busby let her, even though Busby came up under her firm, this is a collective effort. She's not only talking to Busby, she's talking to this individual right here, Miss Antagoni Curis. She is the one who filed and signed this voluntary dismissal. The only thing they could do is tell her the difference between tell her what her options are. Now, here's what a lot of people don't know. There are statutes of limitations on certain things. So, well, you know what? This doesn't even matter because this is a SA case. But at the end of the day, we cannot sit here and persuade anybody to continue with the case if they wish not to. We just got to eat up those costs and keep it pushing. That's it. That's all. So Busby can't do anything. Miss Antagoni Curis couldn't do anything. The Ava Law Group couldn't do anything. Period. Davita Davis, I don't think they're doing research. They're likely just echoing what the last YouTuber said. Anything to get the info out first, whether it's correct. Yeah, that I learned that at that point. So the John Doe, Jay-Z voluntary walk away as well. Now, here's the thing with the John Doe case. It never made it to litigation. So there was never a lawsuit filed to initiate litigation. So all we know is that a demand letter was sent to Jay-Z on behalf of John Doe, and that's it. We don't know if they settled. We don't know if they spoke or had a confidential meeting. We don't know nothing. We just know that the demand letter gave Jay-Z until November 19th to respond, and if not, he will file suit. Jay-Z filed a lawsuit the day before the response is due on November 18th. But he didn't say anything. Even in his filing, all he said was he was being extorted. The Jane Doe was lying. Didn't even really mention John Doe until recently. But we don't know what happened to John Doe case, and we will never know what happened to his case. So his case will be considered pre-litigation. It is pre-litigation. So what happened during pre-litigation, we don't know. I just found her myself. She made my life a lot less stressful. These cases are bananas. They are. They really are. There's cases everywhere, and I have to be mindful of the energy because some of these cases can take a lot of energy out of me, and I don't want to do my work, so I got to do my work. Who knows? Some things we may never know at Earl, or maybe Jane Doe someday will tell her reasons. Yeah, and we will just have to wait on that. But as of right now, we don't know. Hey, slime boss. Hey, how you doing? We're trying to get to the bottom of this one, guy. I'm going to email you because I know I can count on your paperwork. If you expose him, you will have easily a million. Oh Lord, what slime boss? Slime boss. I don't know who y'all talk about. Lord, don't have me in these YouTube streets fighting. Hold up. What's my all right, yeah, if it's for YouTube purposes, you can send that email to my YouTube email. And it's your fave paralegal.cassandra at gmail.com. I said dot, period. Period. CC laughing. OG Trump might be finna do away with propaganda, child. Probably so. Yes, that part can't force a plaintiff. Yeah, they can't. You can't. We can't sit here. The only thing we can say is okay, and we ate up the cost. They don't even have to pay. They're not even responsible. If we don't get a settlement, you don't have to pay the attorney dilly squat. So, not just Busby, because I'm sure a lot of stuff came out from Busby. You know, he used a lot of resources, but the Ava Law Group ate some expenses, as well as the lead attorney, Miss Antigone Curris. She missed out on, you know, she ate some cost up. So that's why I'm like, please know the difference between voluntary dismissal and involuntary. Okay? This was dismissed by Jane Doe because she wanted it. Nobody can persuade her. Attorneys could get in trouble for trying to persuade a client to continue with something against their wishes. That's where motion for sanctions come in at. Okay? So her case, and I'm saying this to the masses, Jane Doe's case was dismissed because she wanted the case to be dismissed. If it was any other reasons outside of that, dealing with any type of procedures or not following the court orders or rules, it will then be involuntary because the court says, okay, we this ain't happening. We're dismissing this case. If her claims were not true, the court would dismiss her case. That falls under involuntary dismissal. I can't say this enough. That's it. That's all. So that's Miss Curtis, the lead attorney on majority of the Sean Combs SA cases. All y'all have to do is go to any Pacer website that where you can view the docket. Go to the parties tab, and you will see the attorney that is on those cases. So whether Busby, let's say that Busby is not admitted, like his Pro Hoc Vice application is denied, bro, Miss Curris is still on this case. Look, she handles sexual assault cases. This is the lead attorney, not Busby. Busby, we take out Busby out the picture. This lady here, Miss Curris, from this is her firm. She is the lead attorney. She is the one that is spearheading this. Yes, Tony Busby got up there because he's a national trial attorney. He's a national trial attorney. And so, but y'all have to understand that you can have co-counsels. You can have other attorneys working on the case. So it just, y'all realize how many actual cases are out here in the federal. I'm about to say the federal. Hold up. I'm going to show y'all. We're going to do federal district. Clear all. Where we at? Southern District of New York. Now, I'm going to come here and I'm going to say newest cases first. We're going to type in Sean Combs. Yep. Don't forget. Yeah, definitely subscribe. Support joining. I do have merch, even though I don't put it out there. It's just out there for y'all to see. Thank you. Thank you, Henry. And I'm glad it makes sense. I am glad. I get happy when I see in the comments on videos that, oh, it makes sense now. But look, 60 cases against Sean Combs. And this is what I did in the last live. I'm not going to redo it. But all you got to do is put in his name, and you can see every single case that is against Diddy. There are some cases where Ariel Mitchell is the freaking attorney. What is the other one? Lisa Bloom is an attorney for the John Doe. all these cases don't have to have Tony Busby. Tony Busby had two at the time, two pre-lit cases, Jane Doe and John Doe. Only one out of his office at that time was filed in court. But if y'all look at the attorneys, the Curtis Law Firm, Curtis Law Firm, Curtis Law Firm, like LaRose and Combs, what is this? I don't know what this is. Yeah, some of these cases be crazy. Curtis Law Firm. And there's other attorneys. But y'all gotta realize that Busby is not the only national trial attorney on this. Okay. Hold up. I'm trying to make sure I said that. Da, 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 da. All right, so that's the Jane Doe. Let's hop on over. Oh, darn it. Hold on. Let me log back in. So we got to talk about John Doe right quick. I said John Doe. Jay-Z versus Busby. Because there's a lot of people. Once again, I don't know. The media, for me, is... they just do too much. And it makes my head hurt. I think that's why I got a headache yesterday. Because people were pissing me off. All right. Jay-Z filed initially a defamation lawsuit. No, actually an extortion lawsuit against... oh shit, let me share the right screen. Okay. Jay-Z filed a defamation lawsuit. Damn it. A freaking... let me erase the last 10 seconds. Jay-Z filed an extortion lawsuit November 18th, the day before his response to the John Doe and Jane Doe letters. All the letters said was they asked for a confidential meeting for them to call the office, schedule a time to meet. Jay-Z wanted the names of both the John and Jane Doe. Busby's office said no, because it's still, if they are filing, like they would have given them the names, but there is a procedure that you have to abide to. So that the ball was in Jay-Z's court. But instead, he filed a lawsuit on the 18th for extortion. He amended that complaint to add defamation. Now, yesterday's hearing was for a motion. Well, it was for the Busby's motion to strike. So there were certain things in the amended complaint filed by Jay-Z that Busby didn't like, and Busby is requesting for some of those things to be stricken from the amended complaint. I haven't I need to pull up that article, but I think it's by Rolling Stone. But I'm assuming that the judge says the extortion is out, but there's enough I guess, I don't want to say evidence, but there's enough information to continue to litigate this case for defamation. Okay? The article says that they are going to continue the trial. And that is, oh my gosh, that's the part that is killing me. Because now all you see on the internet is, oh my God, Busby's going to trial. He's going to be on the stand and he's going to... y'all, hold your horses. There is a process. There is a process before you even get to trial. They haven't even... hold up. Is this... let me see. All right. So the complaint was filed. Busby got a copy. Let me see. Obviously, he got a copy. Then what Busby did is he went ahead and he filed a motion to strike some of the things from the complaint. So that's where we at this point. At the hearing on yesterday, the judge, and I'm pretty sure they didn't say they can continue the trial. They probably said you can proceed with the case or proceed to litigation. Please note that there's a process. It's called pretrial. So you have to do things in pretrial before you get to trial. So if you file a motion anytime before then you have to get a hearing for it. So the next hearing date, so people got to stop saying trial date. That's not correct. So on March 26th, they're going to have another hearing on the motion to strike allegations in plaintiff's First Amendment complaint. They're also going to have a case management conference hearing, and that is for the attorneys to let the court know how far, like where y'all at in the litigation process, and see if anything needs to be, done in between that time. So we still have to go through discovery, and in that discovery process, you got to do depositions, you got to get experts, you gotta go through, get the depositions back. You gotta read the transcripts and all that other stuff. If you're trying to request records, because I know that they were talking about Busby liking a tweet or whatever, they're more than likely gotta subpoena social media to go through all of that. That's all in the discovery process. Once they got all the information that they need, then they're going to move to mediation to try to mediate the case. If mediation does not work, then they're going to go to trial. Okay? Now, if a trial date has been set, that does not mean anything, y'all. It does not mean that Jay-Z's cooked or Busby's cooked. It is a date that we use in order to determine the deadlines for other pretrial things. So, for instance, a discovery, there's only a limited amount of time that we can go through the discovery phase. There is an end date. You have to have completed discovery so many days before trial. Same with depositions. You have to complete depositions so many days before trial. Mediation, you have to complete mediation so many days before trial. Any motions or other pleadings that you want to file, you have to file that by the deadline so many days before the trial. The only things that can be filed probably between 2 days and a week before trial is exhibits, witnesses, like a list of witnesses and a list of exhibits that you're going to use for trial. But we're not even there yet. We just have to get a trial date so that way we know the deadlines for each and every pre-trial thing that we are doing. That's it. That's all. That's all. I've been curious how many cases Diddy was sitting at. 60. Yeah, and that's just in the Southern District, New York. That's just in the Southern District of New York right now. How much a Dane Ghost case we'll hear about in the defamation trial? Can Busby say they had evidence? Um with that, once again, because Jay-Z is the one who filed it, he bears the burden of proof. So he has to prove that Busby defamed him. So he can use, I'm assuming, hypothetically, he can use that, okay, Busby said that I raped John Doe and a Jane Doe. And that was defamation. And then Busby said, okay, because in order for something to be in order to defame someone, obviously the things that you're saying is obviously not true unless the other side can actually prove it. Just like in the Megan Thee Stallion and Milagro situation, there was a whole thing about the deep fake video. So because Milagro liked it, that kind of insinuates that you're saying, okay, there's some type of truth to it, and you were publishing that and all that other stuff. So the same instance here. So if Jay-Z is saying that he defamed because he lied on me, he said I did this, but Busby said, hey, I actually got proof that that is not defamatory, it's not false, then yeah, he can use that. Now, I don't know if y'all gonna hear about it. I mean, the only way we'll know if it is a pleading, let me see. Ooh, I don't live in Montgomery, Texas. Everybody think that, okay, so I'm also a notary. And so I get calls randomly talk about, can you come to Montgomery, Texas? I can't drive, but that's going to now if I wanted to go to Houston, that'll be good. But Merrill Lynch called me. That's dope. Um, I'll respond to that later. But yeah, so whatever Busby has to prove what he said was not defamatory, that's what he's going to use. So I don't know what he has, but I mean, if he has evidence, then that's one thing. But yeah, whatever he has to prove that the statements that he made were 100% true and factual, that's what he could present to the court. Jay-Z's job is to uh pretty much provide information and proof and evidence that the information is false. Hope that makes sense. Yeah, if it goes to trial, that is. But see, it doesn't have to, all of that, you don't have to wait till trial. That's the whole purpose of discovery. Discovery is where you exchange information, interrogatories, requests for production. So on the plaintiff side, because that's what I normally deal with, I would send over questions. Well, first of all, I would send over a request for production. What I would request is all social media accounts, all the evidence that you have for the John Doe and Jane Doe cases, the whole 9 yards. That's the information that I would request. And the same on Jay-Z's end. Busby's end. Busby will request certain things, information, documents, whatever from Jay-Z's side. And they'll go through that information, right? And then they'll schedule depositions. At the depositions, they're going to ask questions. Each, the plaintiff and the defendant, are going to be deposed by the opposing counsel. So all of the information, all of the documents that they gathered and they went through, they are pretty much, they have a list of what they're going to ask. Just like if somebody's in an interrogation room and they get asked all these questions, think about it that like that. Okay? And then once they go through the depositions, they get the deposition transcript. And then I'm going line by line on what you said. So then if I say, oh, here, you said this, you said that. When we get to and when you get the transcripts normally and you finish depositions, normally you go back and you might have to request additional records, or you might have to send out additional discovery for them to ask or, get some more information on. And then they'll try to work out something. You can settle a case at any time during the litigation process. It does not have to wait till you get to trial. So in discovery, if they finish deposing and they got all the information that they need, and to be honest, and I'm just going to be real with y'all, just like I was with the Krishan Rock case, Jay-Z might walk away with something, because there is certain things. Tony Busby, like I said, that's my dude. He's a great attorney. He's a great national trial attorney, right? But there are some things that you just don't do. Just like we tell our clients not to be on social media during the litigation process, why are you going to be why are you liking, individual? It's okay for you to post, because that's what attorneys do. They post about, what's going on in their lives or advertising. But in no way, shape, form, or fashion should he have, liked a post with somebody insinuating that it was Jay-Z. Because what happens, you have people on the internet that will take things out of proportion and will blow it up. And yes, the defense counsel is going to use that against him. But that's Tony Busby's fault. I've never seen a lawyer done that. I've worked in personal injury for years. I've never seen a lawyer done that. So that was dumb on his part. So Jay-Z can ask for evidence from Jane Doe case so that way we could get some answers. Okay, let me tell y'all something. Y'all not gonna get no answers. The only way somebody's gonna get answers is the only way y'all go get answers is if they come out and say it, or it is listed in a declaration or affidavit that is attached to a pleading and is filed. That's the only way. That's the only way. Can we request a depo video transcript? No, you cannot. Nope, 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 nope. Because at the end of the day, the depo is part of the discovery process, and that's all the information that you're going to use for trial. Well, let me take it a step back, for mediation at least, and then for trial. So no, we the public cannot request a depo video or a transcript. I wonder if he was used to stir the pot to draw attention away from the case lawyer's work. What you mean, CC? What you mean? Yep, I mean that's how it is. So like I said, we will never know unless they come out and say something. So as of right now, Jay-Z gotta prove that what Jay-Z has to prove to the court that what Tony Busby said was false and damaging. So it's not just about saying that okay, this is false, but you have to prove that you suffered mental anguish and all that other stuff. What's up, Tyra? What's up, Tyra? Yeah, so some things like during the discovery process, we will never know anything. Never, 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 never know. And y'all have to think about in Diddy cases, we won't know anything until these people start putting in their declarations. And if they have a protective order, we definitely won't know. Why y'all think we don't know? Like when I read the Diddy cases, right? Some of that stuff be redacted because there's a protective order. Or if it's an affidavit by a law enforcement person, we won't have access to that. So the only way we will know anything is if they come out and tell us, in which I'm sure that you cannot do that. That's why they say don't talk about your case to anybody. Now, if certain things go public, then that's one thing. In federal courts is a little bit different. You just can't walk up in a federal court with your camera and all this other stuff. Why y'all think we always see sketches of Diddy? Federal court, you can't take none of your stuff up there. State court, you can walk in, you can sit on the bench, and you can. Well, now some courtrooms, it just depends on the judge, but it ain't the same in a federal court. Busby, Jay-Z following the shiny ball instead of keeping up with the behind the scenes work that Jay-Z sent all those people to Texas to flashback. Child, that's why everything is about to come up. Everything is about to come to a head because, and that's why I be trying to tell people, just relax. It is okay. It's not a big deal. Let everything play out. Because we still have those two cases in which Geraldo and Jose filed against MG Legal and Marcy Croft and Quinn Emanuel and Rock Nation, because there were actual people coming to their house, trying to get them to join a class action suit and actually offering them money. That's one thing. So all of this stuff is going to come out. And the only reason why I kind of believe that story is because I look at the Ramir case where the grandmother, not the grandmother, the godmother said like 4 o'clock in the morning, people were driving on her lawn trying to get into her house. And then judges and attorneys completely doing the opposite, trying to fight jurisdiction, knowing darn well that all of the freaking paperwork that was requested to show the court that Jay-Z was a resident of that county, they totally brushed off. So I'm not just basing everything based off of this Jay-Z and Tony Busby stuff. I'm looking at what's happening in the Ramir case too. I'm listening to that godmother tell her story about what they had to endure for years. He was following Busby's prior clients. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, the feds don't play. They do not play at all. Thank you, Gold Digger. Yep. Intelligent, no. Anything in discovery will not be made public. Interrogatories, admissions, requests for production, none of that, depot transcripts, none of that stuff during discovery will be made to the public. Not at all. Not at all. The only way we're going to know what happened if one of those parties come out and tell us, but that information cannot be made public. You're going to screw up the whole case. There's certain guidelines that you have to follow in the federal rules of civil procedure. Why am I sitting back waiting? I'm from the show me state. We have to see already. Yeah, and it is very sad about Ramir. And this ain't even regarding DNA. This is regarding how the courts played a role in antagonizing him, his godmother, and his mother, all at the hands of Jay-Z. I swear I need to do some time in order to actually pull that, because y'all will be so surprised as to what this man has or play a part. I can't say that he done allegedly, because y'all know anything you're dealing with civil cases is allegedly, and I got that on my channel too. So allegedly. But it is very, very sad what's going on in that Ramir case though. And it's very, very sad. Yeah, that is his godmother, and for her to endure the things. And I actually was reading the pleadings. Like, they have been to, so they hopped from I think PA court to the federal court to the New Jersey court. It's like it's bouncing. And these attorneys and these judges that were doing, like, I don't even understand how they are, one, still practicing law and still sitting behind a bench with what they did. That's wild. Yeah, he tried to destroy them allegedly. People will go to the extremes for things not to get out, for information to not get out. Why? Because their whole empire will crumble. And it sucks, but everybody has a right to defend themselves. Everybody has a right to go after the perpetrators. Everybody has a right. But I did this live today to let y'all know, one, Jane Doe dismissed her case because she wanted to do that. It was voluntarily dismissed. If you don't know the difference between voluntary and involuntary, you need to rewind the video. There was no technicalities. Busby's admission had nothing to do with Jane Doe's case. There were already attorneys on the case. If the court found that the claims weren't true, if the court found anything other than what Jane Doe wanted, right, it would have been an involuntary dismissal. That's it. This case was voluntary dismissed because she wanted the case to be dismissed. It wasn't a technicality. It wasn't because Busby forgot to do anything. That has nothing to do with her wanting to dismiss her case. If for some reason there was some type of correlation, this case would have been dismissed by the court, not by the plaintiff. We cannot sit here and make a plaintiff go on with a case against their wishes. You will actually get sanctioned. This man has already, well, they did the sanctions, but then withdrew the sanctions. But people can file grievances and sanctions against you if they feel that you're trying to pressure them into doing something that they don't want to do. So stop believing everything that y'all hear. What I try to do on my channel is I try to pull up court documents. I try to do everything in real time and explain it so y'all can understand the process. So let's stop with Jane Doe's case was dismissed because of Busby. That's not the case. She dismissed it because she wanted it to be dismissed. Miss Antigone Curris, who was the lead attorney on that case, filed a dismissal with prejudice. If anybody lost out on legal costs and fees, it was her firm, the Ava firm, and the Busby firm, whether everybody like it or not, because it costs to do these things. Litigation costs. Let me see. I gotta go because y'all know my attorney. Ramiro mom lied to another for years and led him to believe he was the father until he took a DNA test. Then the mother started to say Jay-Z. And that could have very well been true, but let's take out all of that and let's talk about the procedures of the court. The procedure of the court is you file in the jurisdiction where the acts or omission occurred or where the defendant lives. Jay-Z lived in the county or the jurisdiction that they filed in. The issue what that they were trying to say was that they filed in the incorrect jurisdiction. Although they had property deeds and records that showed he owned this house. So whether you like it or not, you have this house, it shows that you are in this jurisdiction. That's when everything started to get all weird and stuff. Because even their attorney did some foul stuff. So I don't care about as far as the paternity goes. This was a jurisdictional issue in which they provided the correct documents because even the judge told them that they have to show proof that he was in that Jay-Z lived in that jurisdiction, and they did. We got to take all the celebrity status out. We're talking about procedural stuff. Yes, Cassandra, please cover that. I would love to hear the full story. I heard something about the woman's property being, yes, and that's the thing. And then they put a lien on her property, on the godmother's property. What was the purpose of the lien? How did fighting for a jurisdiction end up with somebody having a lien on their property? Make that make sense. If Jay-Z wasn't the dad, the DNA test would have ended questioning. She had that man's name removed from the birth certificate once the DNA test proved he was not the father. I gotta look at that, but I'm just talking about I'm not even talking about the DNA test. I'm talking about the jurisdiction. That's the biggest thing. It was a jurisdictional issue that went haywire. And all of these faulty, corrupt judges and attorneys had a big part on this everything. In your opinion, if this goes to trial, will Jay-Z? But see, that's the thing. This is not a DNA case. What they're doing had nothing to do with him determining whether Jay-Z was the father or not. What is in court right now is them trying to figure out as to why she got a lien on her property. Why did the court said that he wasn't in the jurisdiction when he was, and they provided all the necessary documents that they had. That's what this is about. This has nothing to do with him even trying to figure out if Jay-Z is the dad. This is more a a jurisdictional issue. um it's way more complicated, way more. No, I don't believe like any settlement. I really don't. When anytime you voluntarily dismiss, you don't necessarily have to put that in the voluntary dismissal. However, we usually say that, this case is voluntarily dismissed due to all parties reaching a settlement. So I don't believe that this case was dismissed. I mean, was settled. Hey, real messy mafia, what's up? The fact that it was dismissed voluntarily with prejudice tells you it was her. Busby can't make the decision for her not to file. Thank you. I swear I be trying to tell people this, and they ain't listening. Cassandra, can you cover all the claims being made against Jay by Ramirez if you haven't already? There was a lot of corruption happening in the courts with the judges. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yep. We done learned today, voluntarily dismissed. Thank you, Gold Digger. We have. We have. Yeah, it was a threat. Yes, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for the people in the bushes. Hopefully this has been a very informative live. And if you have not watched the last live, watch it, because I'm trying to tell people that Diddy's cases are not in jeopardy. Yeah, it's clear intimidation. It is crazy. The Ramirez went all the way to the Supreme Court, and Jay-Z won that case. I gotta pull all of the cases. Now I don't know about that case, but I'm referring to the case uh where the attorneys and judges got sued. They ain't playing with them. I believe it's either in Pennsylvania or it's in New Jersey, but I have to go back. But it's a lot of work. It is a lot of work. All right then. I think I've been on here for an hour and 22 minutes, which means that I need to put my music on and get to these cases, because hey, I got people cases to settle too. Yes, Rosa Gold. Yes, hit the replay, hit the replay. But everybody, we learned so much today, and I hope, you could take this and spread the information around. One thing we can do is work together to ensure that misinformation is not put in the atmosphere, because it is a lot to it. When I start seeing these bigger bloggers and like people like the Breakfast Club, and like people that tune in, like they got a following, and they all hearing the wrong information, it just makes it harder for people like me to get the right information out. Like I said, these people can yell to the top of their lungs that the sky is blue to create chaos and panic. And I'm over here like, what? It's been blue. So be mindful. Be mindful of the information that you guys gain out here, okay? Definitely to the replay gang, thank y'all for tapping in. Thank you for those who sent out what you call those super stickers or chats, one of them thingamajiggers. I'm still due to all of that. But thank y'all for those. Thank y'all for y'all continuous support. It does mean a lot. I really enjoy coming on here with you guys, and conversing and everything, and having adult conversations. I don't do the beef and the drama and all the other stuff. I like to come on here and talk and spread knowledge. Each one teach one. Y'all get it? All right, but definitely leave a comment. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, I might see y'all tonight. I don't know. I need to do some work. But until then, everybody have a blessed and productive day. Bye.